You think WWE cares about loyalty? You think nearly 2 decades of blood, sweat, and shattered bones means anything to them anymore? Because right now, AJ Styles, the phenomenal one, the man who carried SmackDown when nobody else could, is sitting in some corporate office at WWE headquarters, probably being told his career, his legacy, means less than whatever flavor of the month part-timer they want to parade out next. And if that doesn't make your blood boil, wait until you hear what they are doing to the Wyatt Six. But we're getting ahead of ourselves. Let me tell you exactly what's happening behind closed doors that WWE doesn't want you to know. AJ Styles didn't just get called to WWE headquarters for a friendly chat about his 401k. When a superstar of his caliber gets summoned to Stamford, Connecticut, especially after what we've witnessed over the past few months, it means one of two things: either they are about to offer him something massive, or they are about to show him the door with a smile and a "thank you for your service" plaque. And given WWE's track record lately with veterans who've given them everything, I think we all know which way this is leaning. Let's rewind to that brutal moment that's been replaying in every wrestling fan's nightmares. AJ Styles, in what many believed would be his final match, taking punishment that would end most careers. The injury wasn't just bad, it was the kind of injury that makes doctors shake their heads and agents start making retirement plans. We're talking about a career-ending situation for a 47-year-old body that's been launching itself off ladders, crashing through tables, and absorbing finishers from the biggest names in the industry for over 20 years. But here's where it gets interesting, and here's where you need to pay attention because the wrestling media isn't connecting these dots. Multiple sources close to the situation have indicated that AJ's medical clearance status has changed. Now, before you start celebrating, understand what this means in WWE's current landscape. This isn't 2016 when AJ arrived and immediately became the guy. This is 2025, where Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes, and whatever part-timer Dwayne decides to grace us with his presence are getting the spotlight. Quick question for the comments: do you think WWE values loyalty and legacy over ratings and merchandise sales? Let me know below. The timing of this headquarters summons is absolutely critical. We're heading into WrestleMania season, the biggest money-making period of the entire year. WWE doesn't call veterans to headquarters during WrestleMania season unless they have specific plans, or unless they are cleaning house to make room for those plans. And with AJ Styles, a man who's held every major championship, whose main event pay-per-views, who's literally been one of the most consistent performers they've had this century, the question isn't whether he can return. The question is whether WWE wants him to return. Think about it logically. AJ Styles comes back, he's going to need a program worthy of his status. He's going to need storylines, television time, maybe even a title pursuit. But look at the current landscape. The undisputed WWE Championship scene is locked up. The United States and Intercontinental Championships are being used to elevate younger talent. So where exactly does AJ Styles fit in Triple H's vision for the company? That's what this meeting is really about, not whether AJ can wrestle again, but whether there's a place for him in the new WWE hierarchy. And you want to know the most infuriating part? While AJ Styles, a guaranteed Hall of Famer, a locker room leader, a proven draw, sits in that office wondering about his future, WWE is simultaneously stalling the push of the Wyatt Six. Let that sink in for a moment. The Wyatt Six, the faction that had the entire wrestling world talking when they debuted. The group that honored Bray Wyatt's legacy in the most authentic, most creative way possible. The faction that brought genuine intrigue, mystery, and horror back to WWE programming. They are being held back. Their momentum, deliberately killed. Their push, stalled indefinitely. And why? Because apparently, WWE's creative team can't figure out what to do with the most organically over act they've had in years. Drop a comment below. What rating out of 10 would you give WWE's handling of the Wyatt Six so far? This is where the disrespect reaches levels that should have every wrestling fan furious. Uncle Howdy, Nikki Cross, Dexter Lumis, Joe Gacy, Eric Rowan, these performers committed fully to honoring Bray's vision. They created something unique in an era of cookie-cutter characters and recycled storylines. The fans responded. The social media engagement was through the roof. The intrigue was real. And WWE's response? Put them on ice. Slow their roll. Make them wait while we figure out if we actually want to commit to this. You know what this tells us? It tells us that WWE doesn't trust their own audience anymore. They don't trust that fans want something different, something meaningful, something that isn't just muscular guys hitting finishers and cutting scripted promos about being the best. The Wyatt Six represented everything that made Bray Wyatt special: the willingness to take risks, to be weird, to commit to character work that transcends just wins and losses. But here's the corporate logic that's probably happening behind those closed doors. The Wyatt Six are unconventional. They are hard to merchandise. They don't fit our standard templates. Let's slow play this and see if the audience forgets about them. It's the same logic that killed Bray Wyatt's momentum multiple times during his career. It's the same logic that's killed countless acts that dared to be different. Meanwhile, and this is where it all connects, AJ Styles represents the old guard. The wrestler's wrestler. The guy who gets over based purely on in-ring excellence and professional credibility. And WWE is clearly in a phase where they are deciding who from that old guard gets to stay and who gets phased out. It happened to Jeff Hardy. It happened to Shelton Benjamin. It's happening to others as we speak. The meeting at headquarters isn't just about medical clearance. It's about money. It's about creative plans. It's about whether WWE sees more value in AJ Styles taking up a roster spot and a portion of the budget, or whether they'd rather use those resources elsewhere. And given how they are treating the Wyatt Six, a homegrown act with massive potential, it's clear that creative vision and long-term storytelling aren't exactly top priorities right now. Here's a thought: if you were Triple H, would you bring AJ Styles back for one more run, or use that spot for someone younger? Answer honestly in the comments. Let's talk about what AJ's return could mean if WWE actually commits to it properly. Imagine AJ Styles coming back with a chip on his shoulder, with something to prove, with the narrative of "everyone counted me out." There's money there. There are dream matches still on the table. AJ versus Gunther for the Intercontinental Championship? That's a guaranteed classic. AJ in a program with young stars like Austin Theory or Grayson Waller, passing the torch while still proving he's got it? That's how you build the next generation. But that requires WWE to actually care about those storylines. That requires them to give AJ meaningful television time and not just throw him into random tag matches on main event. And based on how they are treating established acts like the Wyatt Six, the confidence isn't exactly high. The Wyatt Six situation is especially galling because it represents a pattern. WWE gets fans invested in something unique, something special, and then loses their nerve. They second-guess themselves. They listen to the wrong people in the boardroom who think everything needs to be sanitized and safe and marketable to the broadest possible audience. That's how you end up with a watered-down product where nothing feels important anymore. Think about the parallel here: AJ Styles, a veteran who's proven everything, being questioned about his worth. The Wyatt Six, a faction that fans embraced immediately, having their push stalled. Both situations scream of a company that doesn't trust its own instincts, doesn't trust its performers, and definitely doesn't trust its audience to appreciate quality when they see it. And before anyone says, "But WWE is making record profits," yes, they are. But profits don't equal creative satisfaction. Profits don't equal respecting your performers. Profits don't equal building a product that fans will remember 10 years from now for the right reasons. WWE could be making even more money if they actually capitalized on the momentum they create instead of constantly pumping the brakes. Final question for engagement: would you rather see AJ Styles get one final World Championship run, or would you rather see the Wyatt Six get the full push they deserve? You can only choose one. Comment below. Here's what needs to happen, and here's what we as fans need to demand. If AJ Styles is medically cleared, if he's willing to put his body on the line one more time, WWE needs to use him properly. Not as a mid-card filler, not as someone to put over flavor of the month talent who won't even be there in 6 months. AJ Styles deserves a swan song that matches his contributions to this industry. And the Wyatt Six? They need to be unleashed. No more corporate hesitation. No more "let's wait and see." The fans have spoken. They want this faction to succeed. They want to see where this story goes. Honor Bray Wyatt's legacy by actually committing to the vision that his family and friends are trying to execute. The wrestling business has always been about moments. It's about capturing lightning in a bottle and running with it. AJ Styles returning from a career-ending injury is a moment. The Wyatt Six terrorizing the roster and building towards something epic is a moment. But moments only matter if you capitalize on them. WWE has both of these opportunities sitting right in front of them. The question is whether they have the courage and the creative vision to actually do something with them, or whether we're going to watch another case of wasted potential and squandered momentum. This headquarters meeting with AJ Styles isn't just about one man's career. It's a litmus test for how WWE views its veterans, its legacy performers, the people who built the foundation that allows them to make those record profits. And the Wyatt 6 situation isn't just about one faction, it's about whether WWE is willing to take creative risks or whether they are going to play it safe forever. The next few weeks are going to tell us everything we need to know. Keep your eyes on this situation, keep demanding better from WWE, and make your voices heard. Because at the end of the day, we're the ones who actually care about this industry's legacy. Now get down in those comments and let me know what you think WWE is really planning. And if this made you angry, good, share it. Let's force them to pay attention.